Welcome to week 1 of the NFL preseason, where the rookies of today hope to become the stars of tomorrow. It's the Vikings and the Raiders. All that and more coming up next.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Las Vegas, Nevada. Today, it's a preseason matchup between the Minnesota Vikings and the Las Vegas Raiders. Alongside me, and I'm Brandon Gaudin. And folks, the wait is over. Yes, it's just the preseason, but football is back in your living room.
And I'm excited. I know you are as well. The summer heat feels good on these old bones, especially because we're not putting on pads. We don't have to be out there in that heat running into other people, but I'm glad these guys are. Football is back.
And off we go from Las Vegas. And the opening kickoff will not be returned, as that will be a touchback. The Vikings offense coming out for the first time, and in his 5th season leading this crew, coming off his 3rd career Pro Bowl nod, Kirk Cousins.
Kirk Cousins is back for his 5th year as Minnesota's starter, tied for the longest streak of stability the team has had at quarterback since, get this, Fran Tarkenton in the late 1970s. He's been excellent during that time, making his 2nd Pro Bowl last season after 4,200 yards and 33 touchdowns through the air. The Vikings, though, still hovering right around 500 at the 8-win mark, hoping to see him lead a talented roster back to the postseason.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Now Cousins. That's complete to K.J. Osborne. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues. Didn't get it by much, but bottom line got the first down. Avoiding that 3 and out. How vital is that on the first drive?
To me, it's like the first round of a boxing match. You know, it may not mean much right then and there, but you'd rather not lose it, right? So you want to go ahead and get it, kind of establish something early, and hope it can carry through.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. On play action, Cousins. Now, quick throw there, going to be batted away and incomplete. They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. Cousins. That's caught by the big tight end, T.J. Hockenson. Cousins from the gun on 3rd. That's complete to Justin Jefferson. And he will have a Vikings first down. They needed 5 there on 3rd down. He winds up getting 7.
I don't care how many times we say it, I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
A run there on 1st down and a pretty good one of 5 yards, so make it 2nd and 5. From the 45 on 2nd down, Cousins. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. To throw, Cousins. Throw left side, complete. That's Osborne. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. And a big 32-yard play on 3rd. All right, Charles, let me put you in the head of one of those defenders out there. You have a big play like that go against you so early. What does that shake your confidence?
It shouldn't, but it often does, because your thought process all during the week is how you're going to get after that offense and make your plays. And when they make one against you, it makes you a little bit hesitant.
Time to regroup. From the red zone now, Cousins. Open man, he's got him, the tight end, Hockenson. From the 7, it's 2nd and 5. Cousins gives way to Cook. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming.
I thought he did a nice job there setting an edge and make sure nothing could get to the outside. But he decided that wasn't enough for him. Worked his way back inside and made the tackle on the ball carrier.
On 3rd down, Cousins. And he's going to go down. Sacked back at the 13-yard line. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
We're talking about how teams are so competitively matched, and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on 3rd down. Fourth down, field goal try coming, so Cousins is off, and on comes Greg Joseph from Minnesota. Joseph's got it, and the Vikings have a 3-0 lead. So it'll remain to be seen how many drives this unit gets in, this being the preseason, but here they start with 3 points.
Yeah, I don't know that we'll actually see them anymore. They got 3 points on the board, 1 drive here in preseason. In this game, baseball caps, NFL approved, of course, for everyone.
Amir Abdullah going to take it out of the end zone. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. So now it's the Raiders' turn to go on offense for the first time. They'll be led out by the 9th-year QB out of Eastern Illinois, author of 2 magical playoff runs in the last 3 seasons, Jimmy Garoppolo.
And Jimmy Garoppolo has shown that he can be a Super Bowl quarterback, but his biggest problem, his ability to stay healthy and remain on the field. When able, he's a capable quarterback prone to winning games both in the regular and postseason.
First carry for the former Pro Bowler, Josh Jacobs. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
Now Garoppolo on the bootleg. They swing that out wide to Jacobs. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
And a nice gain and a broken tackle along the way, and really we shouldn't be surprised, should we? That's what runners do, especially the best ones. They break tackles and gain extra yardage.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Garoppolo now. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. A CD, so often we talk about quarterbacks holding on to the ball too long. Well, we can't say that there. He had no time to do much of anything.
Yeah, that's one where you turn to your lineman and say, guys, can I get a little help here? And you have to ask politely because, remember, they're blocking for you the entire game. But as a quarterback, you've also got to have the clock running in your head when you need to get rid of the football. But this time, he had no chance. They were on him instantly.
As we check the next-gen stats, you'll see he had precious little time to do anything with the football there. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Looking to throw, Garoppolo. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. The safety blitz turns out to be a great call defensively as they sack him for a loss of 9. The start of this game shaping up nicely on that visiting sideline.
Yeah, how about that? You get your points on the opening drive. Then you get a big sack there on 3rd down, and you make the home crowd go, shh.
There is a hush indeed. On fourth down, A.J. Cole comes on to punt. Fielded at the 20. A very good punt, but a 16-yard return. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. The Vikings taking the field here for their second drive of the game. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. Throwing is Cousins. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. Cousins. Looking left side, that's complete to Oliver. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 3rd down, Dalvin Cook. And he'll be touched out here, but not before he does pick up the first. An effective 7-yard 3rd down conversion.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And then the next breath they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up first downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have. Counting down toward the midway point in quarter one. They run again on 1st down, Cook. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
Sometimes I think these defensive tackles get a little bit of a bum rap. We just see them as big guys that eat up blockers for others to make tackles. Oftentimes they're quicker than they get credit for. And this time he uses quickness to make a play.
After the loss, they'll come up 2nd and 13. Here's Cousins. Swinging this out wide here for Cook. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47. Cousins to throw it. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Nate Hobbs. And the Raiders will have solid field position here as they take over at the 45-yard line. Well, certainly not his best throw that time, and not a good time to make it, Charles, when they were a nickel with 5 defensive backs on the field.
And that's exactly why you have those 5 DBs out there. You want extra speed on the field, guys who have ball skills and understand what the passing game can do, and gives them a chance to react and make a play on the football, and they take one of those away.
A good starting spot for the Raiders as they come up 1st and 10 at the 45. So after the INT, it's Garoppolo trying to get it to Adams, but it's intercepted. Picked by Cameron Bynum, and the Vikings are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line. Well, their defense got them the football with an interception. They trot out there, Charles, in the very first play. They give the football right back.
Brandon, I almost expect you coming like an auctioneer. We've got 2, we got 2. Do I hear 3? Remember, it was 2 in a row. Would we hit 3 in a row? Because these offenses, they've got to be a little bit more careful as they go forward. These defenders, they're locked in and really focused.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 on their side of midfield at the 47. They'll start out here with a jet sweep. And this will be taken across midfield and into Raider territory. Throwing on 2nd and 3. Cousins got a man and he hits him in stride. And the tackle going to be made at the 38. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Cook up the gut. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking first down.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and putting the defense back on its heels.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Because his primary job is defending against the pass, you don't often see a cornerback making tackles in the backfield. But he's playing run all the way here.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. Cousins now. Catch is made by Hockenson, the tight end. And he'll be out of bounds about a half to a full yard shy of the 5. 23 yards, the final tally.
And boy, CD, it's one thing to watch a great run, but when it's a great run with broken contact, it's like a cherry on top. That was a nice play.
And as a former defender, I can tell you with certainty, those are the ones that have you losing sleep at night. I would not like to be in that film room on Tuesday going over that one. Just a pretty poor effort defensively, and it leads to a big play.
To throw is Cousins. And it's caught. And they get him down at the 1. He had the broken tackle, but ultimately could not get into the end zone. That'll bring up 2nd and goal after the gain of 5. Off the play fake, Cousins. And they're going to get to him, a sack. Sack back at the 9-yard line. Max Crosby blowing up the play and getting the sack.
When you're this close to the goal line, you got to expect pressure from the defense, so the ball's got to come out fast. Got to get out of his hands quicker.
They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. Throwing, Cousins. That's to Cook out of the backfield. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. 3 yards, all they can muster there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Well, there certainly was a lot going on that play. Every option in the end zone covered. No place to go with the ball. Had to swing it out to the back. A good job running and getting him tackled in the open field.
4th down, field goal try coming, so Cousins is off, and on comes Greg Joseph for Minnesota.
The kick by Joseph is good, and that will make it 6-0.
So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
Here's Las Vegas ready to take the field. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back, but make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
Garoppolo going to try and throw on 3rd. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end.
And he is going to have the Raiders first down. It won't be by much. He needed 3, and he got 3, barely. But the mark shows first down.
Oftentimes we think of those tough yards as grinding yards that a running back has to pick up. How about the tight end there picking up the first down in that situation?
That's what he's there for, right?
Big fella, get it to him, let him fight off some people and pick up the necessary yardage.
On first down, Garoppolo. Firing quickly, but it's incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. They fake the give. Now Garoppolo looks to throw. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be third down. Throwing is Garoppolo on third down. And that's going to be too high. Out of bounds and incomplete. Here's A.J. Cole now to punt this one away. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback.
Minnesota's offense takes over possession. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it. Forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize. Like going to the county fair, you don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. From the 29, Cousins. And he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. Third and short yardage. Cousins. Over the middle, complete. It's Osborne.
And he will have a Vikings first down, as that'll be a pickup of about 5 as they convert on 3rd and inches.
Well, they've certainly gotten him involved in this first half, and on third down, they looked his way again. And what a delight for his quarterback to find him and keep the drive moving.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now Cousins.
To the right side and complete to Jefferson.
And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here.
But one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. Hustling through to break that play up, Max Crosby. So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. Now Cousins. Finds his tight end Oliver here outright. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. 6-0 our score after 1. The Vikings with the football here to begin the second quarter, as they've got it with a 3rd down coming up. And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there that brings up 4th. He gets us away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. The Raiders offense now making their way back out onto the field.
Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. We'll see if they can do better here on this drive.
A first run for the backup, Abdullah.
And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4.
2nd and 6. From the 29, Hoyer. That's caught. It's DeAndre Carter. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 13 yards as the quick slant keeps the drive moving.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
Now a first carry for Brandon Bolden. And he takes it past the 45 and down at the 46. 2nd and 5 now. Hoyer.
He'll get that one to Carter, complete. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield.
They'll run here. Abdullah. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and got the first down.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now Hoyer. He finds his man, complete. That's Carter.
And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35.
That's the 3rd time on this drive that these two have connected with each other. They've got a real rapport going. And right now, it's paying off with big chunks of yardage, as shown by that last play.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Hoyer. And he's got Dorsett complete. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. That one goes for 24 yards.
So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10.
Here's Hoyer. And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14.
Not the 1st and goal play they drew up. Multiple defenders in to bring him down to the ground. 1st and goal looked like things were set up nicely, and now all of a sudden on 2nd and goal, Charles, a big challenge ahead of them.
And you have to know when you're this close to the goal line, things are going to happen faster, so you've got to get the ball out quick. Not going to have much time in the pocket before the defenders bring pressure.
Sacks, a growing theme in this 1st half. This is 2nd and long. Now a give, left side. This is Abdullah. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. This Minnesota D up to the task on the 3rd down pass play.
Well, it's been a tough go for them. These guys have been driving down the field, but defensively, once they got their backs to the goal line, turned up the pressure, that's going to lead to a 4th down. Well played.
The kick by Carlson is good. And they are on the board, trailing now 6-3. So if you like field goals, you've come to the right spot. We've had 3 so far.
Now, this is a football game, right?
It is.
How you like that one? Huh? You like where I went with that? How about that one?
I like it.
Okay, but hey, let's face it. In this game right now, both defenses have responded well. They're trying to hold the line on this. You just wonder if anyone can break through with a touchdown and put some pressure on their opposition.
Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive.
And a dangerous throw there, incomplete. He threw that into coverage. It was nearly intercepted.
On 2nd down, this is Madison. And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24. The Vikings on 3rd down. 5 out of 9 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. And the Raiders have got him.
Micah Kaiser
with a big-time sack on 3rd down. It's a loss of 7.
Even keeping the back end for extra protection on 3rd down, they still couldn't prevent the sack. Now it's 4th and long thanks to a terrific individual effort on defense.
So on 4th down, on is the punter, Ryan Wright.
Trucks over him. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck.
And it'll be Raiders football, 1st and 10. The Vegas offense ready for their next possession.
And a methodical drive last time, but they couldn't get that knockout blow. They had to settle for 3.
But you got to like what they've been doing along the way, right? It's almost like the body blows, the setup punch. As you said, they didn't get the knockout blow here, but that doesn't mean it can't come later in the game on another possession. And the defense on the other side,
maybe a little gas,
right?
Yeah,
a little tired. And if nothing else, they just feel relieved getting upfield, only giving up 3. They don't exactly feel like they've handled the offense. You doing okay over there, partner? Because that's yet another sack in this game that you just had to call. We're not even at halftime yet. No wonder this team has the lead. What an effort by the defense right from the word go. The adjustments at halftime, they're going to have to be big, or this could really get ugly in the second half.
Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains.
Now the throw on third down, knocked away and incomplete. Here's A.J. Cole now as he's on to punt for Vegas. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away.
On the return is Powell. A nice return that time, gets 12 yards back. And it will be Vikings ball, 1st and 10.
And now out comes Minnesota.
These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You use up the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
The sack cost him only a yard. It's 2nd and 11. They're going to look to throw. This one finding the hands of Brandon Powell. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. He'll get 15 and a Vikings first down. Boy, the evolution of the game and how these guys on plays like that can get out of the pocket, keep plays alive, it just makes things so much harder for defenses.
It really does, and we're talking about an era in the game where the quarterbacks are the most athletically gifted that we've seen in a bunch. I mean, when you talk about collectively, it's unbelievable. So their ability to move is practiced now. It's not necessarily, oh, he just took off and you guys figure it out. When he takes off, everyone knows where to go now. They know how to run routes, change things, make themselves presentable for the quarterback. It's a lot of time that they put in on it. It's not just your static 1, 2, 3. This is where the ball goes anymore.
They'll try to get it on the ground with Madison. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. They get 14 there. First down, Vikings. That run's successful in large part because they had a lot of extra help blocking up front.
Yeah, you've got guys who can do that very, very well. In addition, they can catch the football. So sometimes when they line up with 3 tight ends, it's not necessarily to run it, and that gives you an advantage when you do decide to barrel off the line of scrimmage and block people downfield.
So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 39-yard line. He'll look to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete.
And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line.
Here's a 2nd and 7.
And just not enough on the throw there, down around his feet and incomplete.
This will be the 8th play of the drive. It's 3rd and 7. Back to throw.
And he's got his tight end, Oliver. And he will have a Vikings first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the first down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
And they're right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. Back to throw again. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. They'll look to throw again. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
Partner, when you see a screen pass and the defensive tackle ends up making the play, you know that one wasn't sold well at all, because he should be upfield by the time you throw the pass. If not, you end up with big trouble, as we just saw right there.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw.
Rager catches it left side.
And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short.
That was a heck of an effort to stop him just short of the marker, but now they're going to need another big play on fourth down on defense, I believe, because offensively, they went from 3rd and long to now it's a go situation here on 4th and inches.
Here's Greg Joseph now to try the field goal.
From the left hash, this from 34.
Joseph's got it.
And the lead will increase to 6 now. It's 9-3. So they're content to take the 3. Somewhat of a conservative call there, opting not to go for it on 4th and inches.
And that's from a team that you and I know is not usually playing it close to the vest. It's a little bit of a surprise that they opted for the 3 instead of going for it.
Fields it right around the goal line. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. Las Vegas' offense back out there ready to go.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. That one will set him back nearly 10 yards here on first down on the sack.
He was still looking through his progressions and going through his receiver options, and while he was doing that, the defense got to him quickly in the pocket.
And it was a great example of zone coverage. Well executed, well coordinated. All the receivers were covered, and he couldn't evade the rush back in the pocket.
They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. Another try after the first down sack. Hoyer.
That's a good bounce back play right there after taking a sack on first down. Didn't quite get it to the marker, but now they're in a much better spot for a 3rd and short yardage call. If you're the offensive coordinator, you like looking at that section a heck of a lot better than trying to figure out 3rd and long.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. The passing game not in sync here early, and now it's 4th down. Not much going on this drive. Looks like they're going to have to punt it away, CD.
And right now I know a lot of their fans are screaming for the OC to change things up, get away from what he's been calling. Sometimes you just need better execution of the plays that have been called.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And great special teams work here. This is knocking on the door of the 5. They'll spot it at the 6-yard line.
Well, someone's going to be happy with that effort. You know who else is going to be happy? His defense.
Absolutely.
He's created a very long field for that offense to try to traverse.
And he got some help from Mr. Football there, checking up nicely. Good English on that punt. They go play action here on first down. Powell on the catch. And they work this out past the 25. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
And they were backed up to start the drive, but not anymore. Now, that's the play call that the offensive coordinator had in his head. You saw the end result. He wanted to go ahead and push the ball downfield, and that's what they did. And they wound up with good yardage there to get things rolling.
Here's Madison running on first down. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Brandon, that's what you call being manhandled at the point of attack. And I know the offensive line gets a lot of blame for that one. But occasionally, the defense just knows what you're going to do. Maybe they scouted it perfectly. Maybe someone tipped it off. But on that play, it had no chance.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. He'll drop to throw. Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle 3rd. He couldn't catch it. Now 3rd down. Out of the gun now on 3rd down. In trouble, and he's taken down.
Micah Kaiser.
That is now 2 sacks for him here this first half.
Well, he shot in, CD, like he was out of a cannon from that linebacker position. And even though they had a running back in the backfield, no one could stop him.
Well, you certainly diagnosed that play perfectly because as fast as he got into the backfield, you're exactly right. The running back had no shot to get over and try and protect his quarterback, and a sack resulted.
And here's Ryan Wright now
as he's on to punt for Minnesota. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Raiders will take over now, 1st and 10. And now here come the Raiders. Now a play fake here on 1st down.
And he is going to be taken down. They got him, as that is going to take us to the 2-minute warning.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Another try after the 1st down sack. Hoyer under pressure. They got him again. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Up the middle, Abdullah. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime.
Here's A.J. Cole now.
He's been terrific so far. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket.
Here's Powell on the return.
They'll call that a punt of 59 yards. Tough to do better than that.
And they will take over 1st and 10. Minnesota now ready for their next possession.
The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
That play going for 16 yards to start the drive, 1st down.
Well, for teams that like to play man coverage, running corner routes can be tough on them because of the ability of getting into it. Sometimes you're squaring it off. Sometimes you're just rounding it. Sometimes there's a fake. Sometimes there's not. That makes it very, very difficult for a DB to stay with it.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Powell.
Second and 4. They'll get this underneath to Madison. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line.
The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. I see an extra defensive back on the field. Little surprise here on 3rd and 1. Again, he'll drop to throw. And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here.
And here's Ryan Wright now
as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And with time quickly fading here in the 2nd quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
They'll throw now on the final play. He's going to throw one up for the end zone. They're unable to connect, but a late flag comes in. And the contact may have come too early. So that PI call will give him one more play.
And it'll be an untimed play as well. Now the half will end after this one, unless there's another defensive penalty.
Carlson able to put this one through. And that will do it for this first half. So we have reached halftime in our first preseason matchup of the year, as we are off to Orlando now to check in with Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports halftime report. Coach?
Okay, Brandon, thank you very much. Back to you guys in just a minute as we've started the countdown to opening night. Remember, the preseason has shrunk from 4 games down to 3. So just 2 more weeks of preseason action follow this, and then we get it all started on the first Thursday after Labor Day. Meanwhile, for the Raiders, they were on the other end of the spectrum in terms of passing efficiency. That's going to need to improve in the second half to come.
Okay, Coach, yeah, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. Taking it about the 1. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. The Raider offense ready to go here to start the third quarter. And they do trail, but they have a chance to possess the football first to try and do something about it.
And that certainly makes it something of an important drive for them, because is it going to win the game? No, but you have to do something to bring some life to your sideline.
Again, it's Abdullah. Takes this to the 27, give him 4 yards. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down.
DJ Wadham got off his spot quickly and got to the quarterback.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw up a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
Here's A.J. Cole now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. This is taken at the 23. A big boot that time. 57 yards the official distance.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. A little jet sweep to start the drive. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. They'll go Madison up the middle. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. They'll look to throw here. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
For as many sacks as this defense has, you can understand their willingness to try and get upfield and get another. So what a really smart play call here to use their aggression against them, go with the screen, and they're able to get the 1st down.
On play action, they'll throw. Staying on his feet.
Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's 2nd down.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. Looking left sideline, incomplete. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. They'll set up to throw. This one caught over the middle. It's Oliver, the tight end. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. And they're able to convert on 3rd with a solid gain of 23.
When you get a big tight end like this, sometimes it takes more than one man to bring him down. Oftentimes, your best bet, just jump on and hold on and wait for your teammates to arrive to help get him on the ground.
So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory, right at the 40.
Now here's a little touch pass as they tap it quickly to their receiver.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10.
Oliver, the tight end, making the catch. And he'll be hauled down at about the 30-yard line.
So 3rd and inches, and this will be the 9th play of the drive.
On the handoff, it's Madison.
And he's going to get the first down as they bring him down at the 23. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. On first down, they'll run with the Wangu.
And a short gain here, down to the 22.
Second and 9 now.
Now they go screen. It's complete.
And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Out to his left. They go with a shuffle pass, and it's complete. And oh, he's just going to be short here, barely. Maybe by a half a foot. It'll be 4th and inches.
Well, it wasn't a big strike, but that completion put them in really great range. What do we have now, 4th and inches?
Yeah, it's not more than a half a foot.
You know what I would do here?
You would always go for it.
I'm one of those guys.
The kick by Joseph is good, and they double their lead, pushing it up now to 12-6.
So it was a 3-point lead at halftime, and they double that with a field goal here.
And I think defensively, you've got to be okay with that because you've kept this game within a touchdown. Your hope is that you've inspired your offense to put a drive together, get in the end zone themselves, and hopefully get you the lead.
And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. The Raiders offense coming back out onto the field.
Hoyer. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack.
Buried by multiple defenders on the drive's first play. And you get the feeling, Charles, yeah, he's got the 2 sacks now, but he may get more here. We still got a quarter and then some to go.
And the way that he is playing this game, it reminds me of one of the best golfers in the world who can use every club in the bag and make a great shot. That's what he's doing with his pass rush moves right now, showing a little bit of everything. They have no way of stopping him.
Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. But give up the gut to Abdullah. Call it a gain of 5 that time. They'll be left with a 3rd down and about 9 to go. Here's Hoyer. And he fires one, but incomplete.
Here's A.J. Cole now as he's on to punt for Las Vegas.
And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. This is taken at about the 14. Call that one an even 60 yards, 6-0.
And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. Minnesota's offense takes over possession.
And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Now back to throw. Hit from behind, and he's going to be driven down.
Multiple defenders get to him there, and that is the 6th time he's been sacked in this ballgame. Just not much a quarterback can do there, CD. The pressure was in his face almost instantaneously, led to a very quick sack.
Yeah, that's one where you turn to your lineman and say, guys, can I get a little help here? And you have to ask politely because, remember, they're blocking for you the entire game. But as a quarterback, you've also got to have the clock running in your head.
Under pressure, and they got to him again.
Multiple rushers break through to drop him for the 7th time this game. Well, they sent him on the blitz from that linebacker spot, and boy, he got there quickly.
He certainly did, and obviously he could have used a block from his running back, but I think you nailed it right there. The defender got into the backfield so fast, it's hard for anyone to react.
And here's Ryan Wright now.
Standing right on his own 5-yard line. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Pulled in at the 24.
All told, a 54-yard punt, 13 on the return. And it'll be Raiders football, 1st and 10. Here's Las Vegas ready to take the field.
And, Charles, they're certainly still right in this game, but they need that offense to wake up and in a hurry.
Yeah, I like the way you put it. They certainly did seem to sleepwalk a bit in the first half. Now that their defense has done its job, it's their turn now to go out and try and get some points.
Now Hoyer. Caught on the right side by Dorsett. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. A good pickup there, a 22.
Of course, the catch was nice, but how about what happened after? Able to stay on his feet and gain all that additional yardage. So many of these slot guys, I think, have running back in their background.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Carter.
And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line.
You always worry about those smaller receivers running through that gnarly patch of land in the middle of the field. But he did a really nice job there holding on to the football and protected himself as best he could while completing the play.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. The left side, it's Dorsett.
And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line.
Now what we're seeing, this is much better from this offense because so far in this game, no touchdown to this point. And what's usually a direct correlation? Very few explosive plays. That's been their issue. Not able to make that big shot downfield or break one off, but a nice game there for a 1st down.
A 2nd down run for Abdullah. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5.
70 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Well, as we've learned over the years, just because a guy plays left tackle doesn't mean he doesn't have run blocking abilities, and we just saw it there. Controlled the line of scrimmage, created a big gain.
That's kind of a bonus. He's there to protect that high value that you have back under center, but he creates space in the run game.
Yeah, not only can he dance, he can mash, too.
Back to throw here. Flush to his, nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and the Vikings pick up the football. He's at the 50, 30, 20, 10, 5, and they are going to bring this one back. It's a fumble return, a scoop and score for the Vikings. We know this defense has some playmakers. We saw it right there. Well, really, we've seen it the whole game.
Isn't it nice to see that on the opposite side of the ball? Respect, my man, respect. The defensive guys are outscoring their opposing offense.
Yeah, they're outscoring him indeed with that score alone. So the Vikings bringing the offense back onto the field. They'll go for 2 here. They'll look to throw, and he's got it. So the try for 2 successful, and that bumps their lead up even further. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way, the fumble return for a touchdown. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kicks away following that fumble return.
This fielded right at the goal line. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. The Vegas offense ready for their next possession. And, Charles, they're certainly still right in this game, but they need that offense to wake up and in a hurry.
Yeah, I like the way you put it. They certainly did seem to sleepwalk a bit in the first half. Now that their defense has done its job, it's their turn now to go out and try and get some points.
Man open is Keelan Cole, complete. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down.
Well, this is where reading defenses and practice time comes into play. You got to know what you're running versus zone versus man and how to run the proper route. And they just executed that one pretty well.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Hoyer. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down.
DJ Waddle picks up his second sack of the afternoon.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. Dean Lowry.
Oh, you can just see it in their body language. They're starting to see victory on the horizon now, and if it comes to fruition, they got to give a game ball to the front 7. Defensive line has taken charge and controlled this game. Face a challenge of stopping this opposing offense, and they've done so with ease.
Here's A.J. Cole now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And that's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done.
And it will be Vikings ball, 1st and 10.
Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? I mean, they score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they? And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
One play has him to the 37 here for 1st and 10. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
3rd quarter from Southern Nevada. Here's a 2nd and 10.
Now a give to Madison.
And the defense on him quickly there as they stop him at the 40 for a gain of just 2.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw.
Got a man. It's Tristan Jackson. And he will have a Vikings 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 49-yard line. He'll look to throw. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line. A loss of 4 that time on the sack, and it brings up 2nd. They're going to look to throw. Powell on the catch.
And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48.
Now play number 7 of this drive, but it's a tough 3rd and 9. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more preseason football on EA Sports. And they'll need the 39 here for a first. This is third down. Able to, but now he's swallowed up and taken down. More than one defender there, and that's a loss of 5 on the sack. And found his way into the backfield, and he simply would not be denied.
Well, they say that life's all about opportunities, and that holds true when you're playing defense as well. How about him seeing that chance, making the most of it, did a great job of wrapping him up and bringing him down.
And here's Ryan Wright now.
As they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And this is going to be ruled out, I think, just inside the 20. Yes, it will. Side judge calls it at the 19-yard line.
Here's Las Vegas ready to take the field. Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news. But this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Maybe a little frustration starting to creep in. The offensive line hasn't done a great job of protecting him in this game, and there he was, hit again as he threw it.
Yeah, another time on his backside, probably starting to get a little frustrated.
Got to keep his composure. Can't let the defense know that they're getting to him.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well. Out of the gun now on third down. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack.
Dropped for a loss of 7 by multiple defenders. A 3rd and long, you knew that he was going to throw it. He just couldn't find anybody to throw it to.
Yeah, and it shouldn't have been a surprise, but that was perfect execution of their nickel defense. That 5th defensive back, the extra defender, he really tightened up things downfield in coverage, and they were able to get to him in the pocket.
Here's A.J. Cole now, standing about a yard deep in his own end zone.
On the return is Powell.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over.
And the football going back to the Vikings offense. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. They'll look to throw.
Hauled in over the middle by Rager.
9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Going on the ground with Madison. And this will be a Vikings first down as he's got this up to the 45-yard line.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there, and on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing, in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously, but at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 45-yard line. Going to run with Madison again. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up. Second and 6.
This ball complete to Rager. And a nice job to break free of 1 tackle, but it slowed his momentum somewhat, and he's taken down right after.
They'll drop to throw. Escaping the pressure right. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
They certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
Online, but off the crossbar, no good. A last-ditch effort denied 3 points at the very end. All things considered, a pretty good kick, just cruel punishment there to be denied by the crossbar.
If you're going to hit from that distance, sometimes you're going to need a little luck, and unfortunately for him, this time the break goes against him.
The Vegas offense ready for their next possession. Their defense was able to hold serve, albeit with a little help from that missed field goal as they settle in now 1st and 10.
They start the drive with Abdullah. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. From just shy of midfield, Hoyer. He completes it to Abdullah.
And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
And little room to maneuver there. He gets it down to about the 39.
On 2nd and 9, Hoyer. That's caught by Howard. And he's going to be taken down at about the 33.
On 3rd down, Abdullah. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. Give him the 3rd down conversion, 5 yards on the play. Now, yes, a 2-possession game, but a good chunk of time on the clock, so they have the ability still there to run it on 2nd and short, but maybe they need to pick it up a bit.
You're right. They did pick up the 1st down there, but they, as you mentioned, they have to pick up the pace now because it's a 2-possession game. They've got to get there twice to make sure they have a chance to win.
They go back to Abdullah on 1st. And only a yard this time as he's taken down right around the 26.
On 2nd and 9, Hoyer.
Looking left sideline, but it's incomplete. Now play number 8 on this drive, and they need 9 yards to pick up the 1st on 3rd. Looking to throw. And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32.
DJ Waddle
able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
I thought there at the end he may have had a chance to release that, but that pocket closed a little too quickly, and down he went.
Yeah, he was certainly trying to do everything he could to extend the life of the play, probably counting in his head 1, 2, and then he ran out of time.
Daniel Carlson set for the Raider field goal. This will be from 49 yards out. The kick by Carlson is good, and that will get the disadvantage now back down to 11. So as it turns out, that sack doesn't wind up costing them, Charles. They at least get points, get 3 of them.
Yeah, that's where your kicker can really come to your rescue because you know after the sack there was a little consternation there. Are we out of field goal range? Are we going to be able to get 3? In this case, he stepped right up and gave them exactly what they needed.
And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line.
And out now come the Vikings. They'll try and start this drive in the air.
That'll be caught. Rager with it. 2nd and 7.
Running from the shotgun with Madison. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Flushed out right. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a 1st down. That is an absolute backbreaker. That was a design passing play, wasn't a draw. You think you got him stopped, good coverage downfield, and he's able to pick up the 1st with his legs. Defensively, that kicks into your psyche and hurts a little bit, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and here's the thing. Anytime you give up a first down, it hurts you psychologically, but it hurts more when they get it this way because you've covered everything. He didn't have any place to throw the football. He takes off running and picks it up anyway, and now you have to stay on the field for an extra set of downs.
And really could have used that stop trailing here in the fourth. 2nd and 4. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. So back-to-back plays, each get nothing. And that'll bring us to a 3rd and 4. They'll look to throw here. Fighting through pressure. But in the end, the pressure too great, and he goes down.
Multiple defenders there to drop him for a loss of 4.
And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
And here's Ryan Wright now
as he's on to punt for Minnesota. A well-hit ball there. 50 yards on the punt. 3 on the return. And the Raider drive will start from deep in their own territory with a 1st and 10. Here's Hoyer. The throw taken in by Cole. And from the 15, they're able to work this up to the 20 for a pickup of a handful. To throw again on 2nd down. Hoyer. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Hoyer. Out to Cole on the right side.
And he is going to have the Raiders 1st down by about a yard as they find a way to convert there on 3rd down and 5.
But correct me if I'm wrong, you're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
Now Hoyer. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down.
DJ Wadham.
Who else? He's in there for his 4th sack of the afternoon. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest ones, maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
After the sack on 1st down, Hoyer under pressure. They got him again.
Patrick Jones
able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
I remember throughout my career hearing defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. Well, they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And he's going to go down again.
Dropped for a loss of 7 by multiple defenders.
Well, if an offense is going to throw the ball in this part of the field, any pass rusher will tell you that's his favorite part. Gets a chance to get after the quarterback. It's almost like a reverse red zone. They can create points using their defense, and this time they take their man down.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Raiders try it on 4th down, but to no avail. Thank goodness, that means this next drive is going to begin 1st and goal already at the 5-yard line. So now with a 2-minute warning coming up fast, that puts a mammoth dent in their comeback hopes.
I like how you phrased it. It's a dent because there's still opportunity. They've got to get the ball back on defense, obviously twice. But guess what? This thing is not close to being over. They need to go ahead and play it out.
Not over. As you said, 2-score game still. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. 2nd and 5. Eluding the pressure right. And he's just going to throw this one out of bounds here. Nowhere to go with it. Incomplete. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play. 3rd and goal. He'll drop to throw. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Joseph's got it,
and that will extend their lead even further.
So the starting field position was terrific following the surprising turnover on downs, but the end result, only 3 points.
Simply stated, I think you have to look at that as a missed opportunity.
From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20.
So now London down by 2 touchdowns. 2 minutes, 17 seconds to go. It's been a struggle to score all day, and now they need to do it twice here late to have a chance. Out to the left there and complete to Howard. And he'll be out of bounds at the 25-yard line. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Hoyer, the Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack.
Loss of 10 as multiple defenders get to him.
Two minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Raider football as we get you reset.
A tall task ahead of him here, needing a full 15 yards to move the chains.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. And unable to connect, incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
Hoyer. Pass caught by Hooper. And he is going to have a Raiders first down on what will be a big play there on 4th and long.
And he finds Howard complete. A gain of 8 there on the play. And it'll be 2nd and a couple.
Hoyer.
And finding the tight end, Hooper.
Now, worth reminding at this point, no overtime in the preseason, but that may not come into play here in a 2-score game late.
That one caught by Carter. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game.
And that sack, Charles, just looked like a case where a speedy defensive end is a little bit quicker than the offensive tackle.
Yeah, it makes it difficult for a tackle to determine what exactly to do. Do you do the kick slide and try and get back in the pocket and meet him there? Do you meet him on the line of scrimmage where they call a quick set? In any event, right now, he's having his troubles.
On play action, they'll throw. And he can't escape, and down he goes. Now another timeout called for by the offense as the clock stops with 23 seconds to go in the game. Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Vikings defense is going to get the football back. So with that, we can just about close the book on this one, Charles.
Yeah, what's the old expression about slim and none? Well, Slim just left town on that
They're
one.
down to none?
Yes, exactly right.
Victory formation time for the Vikings as they'll take a knee here. Now the Raiders going to burn their third and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. Down to a knee one more time, and that should just about do it. So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory, and it was their defense that led the way, allowing just 3 points, that lone field goal in the entire second half.
And remember the old adage, offense sells tickets. Defense does what?
Wins championships.
And in this game, maybe a championship wasn't won, but a game was by the defense, right? Held them in just a field goal. That's a heck of a job. I mean, when they went out there with that determination and a pretty good game plan, pretty good idea of what they wanted to accomplish, just love the execution, love the tenacity, love the way they finished.